please. I'd like to say a prayer tonight. Father, we thank you for this day and all the blessings you give us. Please guide and direct us through this meeting and in our decision making. Also, please, Lord, look over Stanley Murphy, our fire chief, and help him in his healing. We ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. The pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call, Miss.
Tommy Stevenson.
Here.
Laura Wagner. Here. Mayor Donnie Pruitt.
Here.
Judy Coulter. And John Kozuski.
Here.
All present.
Okay, thank you everyone for coming tonight. Sorry to bore you with so many special meetings, but it seems like we have to have them. So we'll just get started with it right away. Ms. Wagner and Mr. Stevenson want to discuss a non-compliance agreement that was occurred during the last closed session meeting. So I'll turn it over to them.
Okay, it has just come to our attention that the custodian of records, who is the city clerk, has not been given access to certain records that belong to the city. She has not been provided a key to doors or cabinets. And the custodian of records basically needs access to records at any time within City Hall. We just want to ensure that she does have access to these records. And we decided this during a closed session on Tuesday, and the mayor had said he would get key and give access the following day, and that was not done. So I just want to make sure that that is done, because that is the city clerk's job. It is her duty to be custodian of any and all records. She should have access to them at any given time that she needs access to them. I don't feel like anything should be kept from her. It's in the city ordinances. That is her job. That is her right.
And what started all this was there's a file cabinet in our financial officer's office right now. She's on medical leave. You know, we don't know when she can be back. And nobody's accusing her of anything. We just want, there's only one key that we know of, and we would like for our city clerk to have access to that. It's like nobody's accusing her of anything. We just, according to our city ordinances, the city clerk has access to every piece of city material.
Can I add something to this? She's worked here for 2 years. Nobody's ever said anything about that key. Tuesday night at the special meeting, she had just had surgery. She was in ICU, and it was my understanding the mayor said he would get a key. He didn't say to Nick, how do you expect him to get a key when the lady just had surgery? She's in ICU. How cold-hearted is this city clerk and this council to expect her to be disturbed in ICU? And wait a minute, just wait a minute. To get a key the next day, I didn't hear him say that. After everything she's did, you expect somebody to go to ICU and say, we want a key. Come on. We just pray for guidance, and we can be that cold-hearted.
I am not being cold-hearted towards her situation. The fact is, the cabinet is locked, and Shannon needs access to it.
Okay.
Miss Elliott, aren't you the clerk?
Yes.
Is there any material that I would not give you access to? And did you not tell me that there was nothing in that cabinet that you needed?
I told you today, you asked me if there was anything I needed, that you would have a key if I needed access to come ask you to get in it.
Yes.
I told you I would. I told you I had not needed any information until Friday. That was the first time I had been asked for something that, since the financial officer wasn't here, That's the first time somebody had asked me for something that I couldn't go get it.
Shannon has never asked any one of these older man or woman that she's missing material. It's Miss Blake over there that wants in that cabinet. That is millions of dollars worth of grants in that cabinet.
We're not throwing out names and we're not accusing anyone of wanting
She's a
anything.
clerk,
My-
she's in the office, you're throwing out names.
This is getting way past the point. Shannon is the city clerk. Shannon should have access to the records at any point in time. She should not have to go through you or any mayor or any council person. That is in the city ordinances. She needs access to those whenever she does. You're not here 24/7. No mayor is gonna be here 24/7. No council person is gonna be here 24/7. That is her job. It is outlined in the city ordinances. Plain and simple. I'm not saying anyone's doing any wrongdoing, but if she needs access to that, she shouldn't have to go through 2 or 3 people to get access to it. That is all I'm saying.
Anybody else got anything to add?
I wasn't prepared for that, but I remember I read through an audit of a neighboring city that they paid the state for, and they come out with a checklist on that, and the city should adhere to all these things and all the questions, and there was a question of pertaining to that, but like I said, I don't have it with me, I don't have it to back me up, but I know that it does say who's the custodian of records, do they have all access to that? They do. That's in there. I'll back that up.
Yeah.
That's all. I don't have it where I could read it. I'd love to read it and read the section to you, but
Yeah.
I know I read it. And we weren't audited like that, but that city did pass. I watched all the check marks, what they did have, what they didn't have. That we wouldn't pass that check.
Yeah.
As it sits right now, as far as I know, we would not pass that line item, that's all.
And that's all I want, is just for her to be able to do her job at any point in time, should it arise that she needs to get in any record, because that is her job.
Is this hindering you from doing your job?
As far as I understand, I'm supposed to have access, that's what I'm told. Again, I'm still learning as I've been here, but Friday was the first time since she went on medical leave that I've needed something that I could not get.
That wasn't in the cabinet, we got that was in that folder.
All I know that's in there is grant stuff. I don't know what's in that cabinet. I've never been in that cabinet. I've never even looked in it.
But I ask you, is there any material I've ever denied you?
No.
But she shouldn't have to go through you to get the material, that's the point. She shouldn't have to go through you or any mayor or any older person. If she wants it, she gets it.
Yes.
The financial clerk asked me if she could lock that cabinet because there was people pilfering around in it. There's very important $1 million worth of grants in there, and if they get these files mixed up, they could get shuffled and get lost, and the city could lose a lot of money. I don't see why, if anybody needs in that cabinet, why the financial officer or the mayor can't watch them go through that file with them, make sure that the files stay where they belong, in the order they belong, and yet everybody will have their material.
Well, I talked to Linda about it. She has put applications in for $19 million worth of grants, past the ones that we've already been given. And what she does when she puts an application in, then she fills out all the paperwork, gets it lined up, because grants is on a timeline. So if they are approved for us, then all she goes to that file and just fills in the blanks. And she was crying when I talked to her, because she said she's put many hours in on getting these grants for Mountain View. And if somebody goes in there and thinks they can learn that job by just plundering through her papers and messes these up, she won't have time to go back and redo all of these papers, and we will lose grants. And she was very upset. She don't need it right now. She's in a very critical stage right now, and she has worked and worked and worked on getting millions of dollars for grants. And she don't want her files gone through. She's not trying to hide nothing. She's just very organized. And I don't care who it is in the office that wants to get in there, they'll have no idea. You know, they might think they'd be able to learn this job in a week's time by plundering through her papers. It ain't gonna happen. Not learning that job like that.
The whole point of this is, I'm not speaking about Linda, I am regarding Shannon's job duties as the city clerk. She should have access to all records at any time. She should not have to go through any mayor or any older person. And I had thought we had decided during Tuesday's meeting that a key would be made of every office door and it would be kept in the vault.
Judy, even in that meeting, you said that was a good idea.
It is,
That we have, there's always a spare key to
it
every
is,
cabinet.
it is, but right now, I haven't got one. Right now, I can't get one. Not as long as she's in ICU. You guys gotta have a little compassion here.
So you weren't in her office today?
Yes, I was in her office today. I was getting that folder for her.
But how'd you get in it if you don't have a key?
The door ain't locked. The door's not locked, Donna. It's the cabinet.
Oh.
And I'd stay out of it if I didn't know.
Don't make.
Well, I will agree
But
with
he
this.
had no business piping up.
It,
You don't know what he's talking about.
Well, you open it up to everybody. You do it every time we have a meeting, sir.
What?
You open it up to the public.
Okay, wait, not right now.
Not right now.
Please.
We're up here discussing this.
I agree that she should have access to anything in that office. But, and I have no problem with her having access. I just don't think it should be anybody else but her, okay? You agree with that?
Right.
I don't think that she ought to be able to open that cabinet and let anybody else in it. She shouldn't take papers out and take it to anybody else. If it's relating to her job,
Right.
Yes.
okay?
Yes.
But to pass the
I agree.
papers over to another clerk, I have a big problem, because if you don't know what you're looking at, you will mess it up.
But my whole thing was, I just want to make sure she has access and she does not have to go through anybody to get access because that is her job. That is stated in our city ordinances.
So at this time, she is not locked out of it. So it's accessible at all times right now. If it's not locked.
So
Or
the
is
cabinet's
it
not
the
locked.
cabinet?
The
The
cabinet
Oh,
is
it is.
locked. The cabinet is locked. The office ain't locked.
And
The
Linda-
cabinet is.
Linda should be home sometime, okay, today. And let's all keep her in our prayers, because she definitely needs our prayers too.
And if you're impatient, if you want to, Funky made a comment of getting a locksmith, come over and unlock it, that's fine with me. That's up to the council.
Well, if we need access that quick, just, even if there's just one key, then we have another key. Linda can have a key, but the city clerk can have a key.
That's fine.
Not that anybody else needs a
I will
key, just,
see her tomorrow, okay?
And if there's one key, well, if there's, I think she's got two keys, and not, we can make it duplicate, I guess.
So I guess is a perfect example of what you're trying to get at for that line item, and that is someone is off on medical, and if you need it, and you think you need it by Friday, you said,
No, I had a request that I couldn't get
right, we don't
on
have
Friday,
access
but
to
we have
it.
it now.
We don't have,
The fire. The fire wasn't in the cabinet,
oh, okay,
okay?
okay, but an example of that,
Isn't that what you
it
guys
can
said?
happen, okay.
I don't know where the stuff.
There was a bond issue.
I don't know where it was.
You wanted the bond issue material. It was up there in a black folder marked. You just don't, you don't go in that office. I know you don't. But the door's not locked and it was there, and that's why I was in the office getting it. Getting that folder for you. And I made all kinds of copies for you today. So as we can get those issues that you've got on that bond issue done. And it goes back, way back,
Yes,
to 19.
correct.
Okay, let's
I think a motion needs to be made because I want something on record.
Well, you got the minutes of the meeting, you got the minutes of the meeting.
Is that, but we've got minutes of the closed meeting.
No, we didn't have closed session meetings on tape. That was the argument.
There was minutes taken.
But I contested, I did not say I would have the key the next day. That's where we disagreed. You said we'd have it the next day, she put it in the minutes, I contested the minutes, said there's no way I could have it the next day. I said, let's listen to the recording. We didn't have a recording today. We have a recording. But if you want to make a motion, that's up to you. That's up to you people. I'm not fighting it. I'm not fighting it. I'm just saying, give me time and be a little compassionate so that I can get a key. And if not, then get a locksmith over here from West Plains and as Mr. Stevenson suggested, and break into it.
I'll see her tomorrow.
I just, the whole point,
If you're gonna see me tomorrow, we'll have a key fob.
yeah.
I'll see her tomorrow. She should be home, she might be home now. Hopefully she made it home and her calcium levels didn't bottom out and her pass out the door.
I'll go ahead and make that motion. That we thank you. That we just enforce city ordinance 22-200 and 22-210, that the city clerk has access, immediate access, to all those records pertaining to city.
I will second that.
Based
Have a
on-
vote. Have a vote. Ding, ding. You,
I'd like to add to that, if you don't mind. Only the city clerk has access to it on papers like that.
I'm perfectly fine with that.
Okay.
that's what it says in the ordinance, I
Yeah.
think,
Yeah.
is that the clerk,
Yeah, shall be
their
kept
clerk,
in the
it
custody of
specifies the clerk, it don't say,
But it's up, the clerk should make sure that she's the only one access to that kind of paperwork, okay?
I agree.
And I have no problem with it, I'll vote on it.
Yeah, because 22-200 and 22-210 says the records of the city shall be kept in the custody of the city clerk.
city clerk.
As used in this subchapter, the word record or records shall mean any document, book, paper, photograph, map, sound, recording, or other material, regardless of physical form or characteristics, made or received pursuant to law or in connection with the transaction of official business. That's what it is.
Okay?
And everyone should keep in mind that that offense is punishable by chapter 13 of our city ordinances.
Okay, well, we had a motion and a second, and all in favor?
Aye.
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 Continue.
Okay, I had Steve Arnold. He is a property owner in the city of Mountain View. He owns several businesses in Mountain View. He contacted me about a concern. He's trying to get some work done on a property. And Mr. Arnold, if you'd like to come forward, please, you can talk to us a little bit. Basically, I just feel like he's kind of been given the run around a little bit, and I'd like to see him get his project underway. So I'd like to know what we can do to help him and get this moving forward.
Thank you. And I believe everybody up here, except for Laura, I've been to 2 meetings discussing this very thing that I would like to discuss tonight. Has anybody, do you all remember me being here November of 2020 and then in January of 2021?
I know I was here for the one meeting.
Yes.
Positively.
John, we had a meeting over here, you were there, we discussed a piece of property that was purchased now going on 7 years ago. Impact fees were paid to have utilities run to the property. I personally came in, talked to Patrick. Prior to buying the property and then even before signing on the property, the main concern was being able to get utilities run to it. Because there was nothing there, it was just a lot. So, upon purchasing the property, making the payment for the impact fees, Mike soon became administrator for the city. Patrick assured me that this project was long in the works, okay? That this had been planned way long ago, and it was going to be a sewer line for future development. Future development. So that's why it was no problem that it's going to get done now. And this was going on 7 years ago. Well, I have probably, I'm going to try to make this short because I have a few things I want to go over, but I would say within the span of when Mike was there, I was probably in the city, in the building, or on the phone talking to Mike, no less than probably 25, 30 times concerning the installation and the running of the sewer. I was guaranteed, I was promised, it's going to get done. It's too wet, it's too rainy, it's springtime, now it's winter, and this went on for years. Many years of this being promised, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, and nothing being done about it, I finally came in and talked to Willa. And Willa, I asked her, is there any ordinance, anything that is preventing this job from getting done? She went with me through the ordinance books and we found absolutely nothing. I went in and had a conversation with Mike that afternoon, and I admit he got a little heated. I didn't expect it, but I mean, after all these promises, and let me back you up here a little bit. And what was so, let's talk compassion, Judy, because you brought up compassion. So I'm going to talk compassion. Because I know that last meeting and our discussion, this property concerned one person who has leukemia. Let's talk compassion.
Didn't we?
Somebody who is on their deathbed bought this property to move here to spend the last years of their life. Let's talk compassion.
Did we not?
Yes, you know this because we discussed this at 2 meetings. I brought it up.
Hold your voice down, Steve. You ain't gonna get nowhere like that.
Okay.
You don't want to
Well, I
shout.
haven't got anywhere anyway. Really?
The only thing I was gonna say, the last time you come before the council, did we not agree that we would run it as long as you had a building?
What else did you agree to?
That's what it was. It was.
No, what else did we agree to? Deidre, I called your office numerous times
We had
after
that
we had the
building.
meeting. Do you recall?
We didn't want to run sewer to an empty lot.
Deidre, do you recall?
Can you? I'm just curious, I'm not an expert builder. Can
Hold
you-
on a minute. Do you recall what the agreement was? Because it's on tape.
No,
It is on videotape, the discussion.
it's in there.
If you want to know if I recall it.
I think we
Yes.
should
Yes.
table this and
But-
because,
No, please.
we should table this because it
No,
just
we
says.
don't, no, we're not tabling anything.
Well, we haven't had time to
No,
do
we're not,
research on
no. No,
it. Agenda says.
no.
She didn't put nothing on here, so I haven't got
Let
into
me
it.
take over for a second, okay? He's been put off for a very, very long
But
time.
when didn't you put it
He's
here?
wanting-
Why didn't you put it, the reason here, so we
Went
could
back in the
we could have
minutes.
planned it? But you
When
put
what?
here Alderman Wagner
But
to
what?
discuss citizen property
This is-
concerns. We had no chance to investigate it, see where we're at, and get our information together. We're
Hold
not
on a minute,
prepared.
hold on a minute.
I'm not
Deidre, can you
prepared for
answer
this
that one,
because
please?
it wasn't on the
I
agenda.
can answer it, but they're going to have to ask me.
Donnie, did you get this letter from me? Because I brought it in and I was told you did receive it.
Let me see.
And I was into Charles Cantrell's office and I know you had a discussion with him.
Do you remember what day the meeting was?
Yes, it was
No, I'm not, I'm talking about with the council, when we said that you had to have a structure up.
Yes, that was,
We gave you-
January 11th.
When? January when? Last year?
January 11th of 2021.
Can we pull those minutes?
I've got them right here if you'd like to see.
Minutes?
Yes. Now you can read this right here.
Steve,
Yes,
I believe I signed that building permit for you,
you did sign it.
and it's dated 2020.
You did sign it. You know when it was applied for?
No, but I do know there's not a building up out there.
Okay. Would you like to read the minutes? Would you like to, do you recall the discussion? If somebody back here made a suggestion that I agreed to, and I did not have to agree to this, but I agreed to, and I've called her office, and we're gonna get this straight right now, that I would, if you let me know what you want built before you run that sewer line, I would look it over and we would make an agreement. No, I'm talking about I don't need to look at that. I'm talking about the meeting on January, what's the date, 11th? We made an agreement, and I know for a fact that you have talked to Charles Cantrell. Deidre, can you please?
Do you guys want me to tell you what happened?
Yes,
Okay, I
yes.
would say, if they just yell things at me, I can't just respond. Okay. At the meeting, it was agreed that there would be a contract written up saying what the city was going to require him to build in order to run those lines out there. He called our office, I called the city several times trying to sort out what that was going to be. Nobody ever gave me any contract terms. All that I ever got was, I'm not going to talk about that, we're not doing that right now. Since then, I've been contacted by, I believe, Chris Fisher. Yes, Chris
Are you
Fisher.
aware of it? Hold on a minute.
Please lower your
No,
voice.
okay, I'm sorry. I'll lower it.
Okay.
You want people coming your business screaming because they,
And Deidre, would you finish, please?
So Chris contacted me with the same thing. We've talked about it and just kind of made an agreement between ourselves that since things didn't seem to be working under the current administration, that we would wait until April, try again with a new set, see what kind of terms those people wanted, because those are the ones that he was going to be dealing with anyway. So that's where that landed between Chris and I.
Well, in the minutes, it said that Charles Cantrell, without a contract stating how much the construction need to be completed before the city would start on the utilities.
Now, that's in the minutes, so I invite anybody to watch on Vimeo, or whatever the name of the website is. I've got all the meetings are recorded, I've watched them all, and if you look, it goes into a lot more detail and shows the discussion that we had concerning what she just brought up. So, she just said it right there. We discussed a contract of what you want built before you put that sewer line in. I have contacted her office, she has contacted you, and you have literally turned her down and not even responded. Are you aware of that letter from Chris Fisher? Have you discussed anything with her?
no,
No?
no.
Charles
Haven't seen
Cantrell? Deidre? Was he made aware of it?
I didn't send them the letter from
I
Chris
know.
just because Chris and I had talked about waiting until after the next election instead of trying again with this round.
All I know is that.
That was a Chris and I thing.
Hear me out. The city just made a plain request, Mr. Arnold. Before we run and spend $50,000 on a sewer line to your lot, we want to see a building there. We need justification. We need some kind of building there, knowing you're going to live there. Instead, we're not in the habit of
Seriously,
running.
do I apply for a building permit because I'm just having a good time?
The building permit's expired and
What?
you still ain't got a
Hold on a
building.
minute. You know what else has expired? Hey, look at this. Donnie, I'll show you what else
But
has
you still
expired.
haven't got a building
You
out
see
there,
this right
Steve.
here, Missouri Department of Natural Resources, which is a survey that was already done by engineers, which you are well aware of,
Yeah,
right?
Oh, that was
Guess
back
what?
when?
That's right. Guess what else is expired?
What year?
Guess what else
What
is
year was
Look,
that?
I'm not gonna sit up here just
2019.
screaming and hollering.
2019.
Yes.
I would just like to
2000.
know what we can do to move this forward. It's been stalled. Do we have anything on the ordinance books or anything that says
Yes.
this has to
Yes,
be
he
done?
has to have a living structure there before we give him.
That is not on the
so-
ordinance books.
And all
What
he's got,
ordinance is that under?
I don't know right now.
It's not an ordinance, it's so a city's obligation to run things like power and sewer, because it's, the law, there's nothing as nice and concrete as we would like it in terms of saying you have to have such and such place there. The general consensus among legal sources seems to be that there needs to be some sort of habitable or usable structure present before a city is required to do so. A city can run it before that, but if it's to the point where there's something there that the person could be living in or using, a city is required to supply utilities if it's within the city limits, which this is. So I think that was where the entire contract thing came up, which was at what point is it going to be considered a habitable structure for the city to run lines to it? Is it going to be when the foundation is present, whenever the entire house is completed? What is that going to be?
Yeah, so we don't have anything concrete that
No.
says.
So we never got to those
Okay.
terms. is what you're
So
saying.
I'm gonna lower my voice, and I apologize, because I have a few more things I really need to present while this is on the record, okay? When I went to Donnie about the building permit I applied was August 20 of 2020. Now, I have wanted this, and I was told, I was never even told about this until Donnie told me, well, I haven't given him what he needed. And it was, I never heard from him. I kept going in to see if my building permit was signed, and it wasn't. And it was probably 2 months or close. I've got the dates here. I'm not going to go through them here, but before, I was wondering why my building permit is not signed. I went in and talked to Donnie. I was told during a conversation that he's going to drag his feet. Well, that didn't set too good. Do you still deny it? Because you objected to it the first meeting in November of 2020.
Yeah.
You object to it? Okay, so there are witnesses, just for the record, that heard him say this. So
If you call me dragging my feet because I wasn't gonna
No.
try to pursue
You-
a sewer until we
You
see
also
a
told me that
structure
you
out
were
there.
gonna do the job, but you were gonna make sure it goes
We-
real slow.
We can't get in the habit of putting sewer lines to empty lots.
Okay,
You're gonna
so-
set a precedent.
So what Donnie required of me, he said he's going to do it, but I'll tell you what he required. He hands me this, tells me he's been doing some digging, and that meeting in November, I gave everybody on the council, I walked over and Ellie was there, and it was in this other building, what Donnie had handed me. Because this clearly states, application for permits shall be accompanied by such drawings of the proposed work drawn to scale, including floor plans, sections, elevations, structural details, as the Board of Aldermen may require. Donnie, after I contacted him, not getting a building permit, he says, oh, you haven't turned in what is required of you. And this is what he hands me. Well, I handed everybody this up. You got one, and you got one. This was November of 2020. Okay? So my question is, because it says, as the Board of Aldermen may require, I took that as, well, did anybody, and nobody on this, nobody was even aware of this whole thing. I was shocked that nobody even knew about it. But it was told to me that it would be discussed, and that was in that meeting. That's also, if anybody cares to watch that video.
Can you see this point? Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Can you see the city putting out $35,000 to $50,000
Okay.
to run a sewer line to a lot that somebody not even built on? But if that person wants to sell that property, it would make that property value higher. So when Ellie was here, she made the motion, and I'm pretty sure all of us went along, that you had to have a structure there.
No, okay, the agreement at the end of the meeting, yes, that was discussed, and
I
you
got
were,
the minutes, I'll have to. I
you were
coulda had the
100%
minutes if
correct,
I'd known.
Judy, you were 100% correct. But at the end of the meeting, at the end of the day, when the vote was taken, it was after an agreement of a contract that I even stood up in this meeting and asked her, do I contact you? Who do I contact? Yes, I contact you. I had, and like she just said a few minutes ago, I had contacted her office for a few months and never got anywhere. I had contacted you, but let me get back to this, because what becomes very interesting on this.
Steve, it's very simple. All
Hold
you
on a
do
minute,
is
hold on a minute.
Build your house out there. and
Listen,
you
because
serve.
of this sunshine, I didn't know what a sunshine law was until the meeting I watched, and Judy brought it up with her book over this deal with Laura. And so I looked into it. I was interested in finding that I can go and pull some records that are public records. I never knew this. Okay, so what I did was I pulled all the building permits. And my question is, because you told me that these things are required, which I spent hours and money to draw these plans up and bring them to you. I handed them to you because this is what you gave me. I did everything you told me to do. Now, all the building permits,
It said,
let me ask you a question. Any other building permits that you have signed or that have been turned in, has anybody been given this?
they haven't asked it, they haven't needed it.
Oh,
There's been a
there's
building.
been no new construction?
Well, no,
No new construction?
just that one right out there.
Oh,
What's the
were
name?
they given one of these?
Yes,
They were? Did they turn in elevation drawings and everything to you?
yes.
They did.
Yes.
Can I get copies of those, please?
If I
maybe
got them,
Shannon?
probably the contractor, you'd have to see the contractor.
Okay, well, no, I mean, you've got copies of mine.
Well, because yours is an ongoing issue.
Well, okay, so you're telling me everybody that has put up any new or put out a building, you have told them they need this? You have given this to them and said, you are required to turn this in?
Stanley?
Is that what you're saying?
No, I gave it to you to show
No,
you,
no,
because you
no.
were
I'm
the
talking
one
about
arguing.
any building permit since you handed this to me.
No,
You have not given, why?
no, because
No.
they've not asked for it.
Did I ask for this, or did you?
Yes, you did.
I went in for a building permit, Donnie.
Yeah.
You waited, didn't contact me, didn't call me, and then you called me
I
and
told
said,
you that,
I have
I told
not.
you we had that ordinance and you said, may I see it?
You said you have not turned into me what is required of you.
All right, I'm not going, we can't sit here and argue all night. We're going to have to, it's up to the
Okay.
council.
Well,
I
I'd like,
want,
Okay,
I want
so-
something on record so he can get this done. Like, I want him to be told specifically what this
Okay,
council requires.
Can I say two more things, please? And I'll excuse, but I came here for a reason. I was invited here, and now I'm having a chance to, okay. So did we not, or did the city not approve the annexing of the Anchor and H&R block into the city? Did you do any sewer line work for them?
Yeah, well, it was done way before they were annexed in.
They did.
Yeah, but that was,
Okay, did the city
yes.
did sewer line? Did you charge them for it?
I don't know. That's way back.
Okay, but was that an agreement that you made with them
Steve, that's.
if they
that's-
annex into
that's
the
be-
city?
that's
It's in the council meeting, I've watched.
Well, that's, I don't
Okay,
know. You
Um,
know,
I
I don't-
don't know, that was before.
Okay, I have a copy, and I will tell you, of the tape that you said it was poured, and the word sewer, I was in this meeting that day, and I was just, what? So you were willing to give sewer to somebody that's outside the city?
no, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Not me.
It's in the meeting. You said it.
No, the anchor
No,
had
you,
sewer. Ask
okay,
the
okay.
ex-mayor
I just
over
put
here.
this on record. It's in a meeting that he stated that in exchange, and the word sewer, you use the word sewer, it's in the meeting. Okay, I just want that on record. So,
The Anchor had city sewer before it was annexed
yes,
in.
I'm talking about
Yeah.
H&R Block now.
I think they also already had
Okay,
city
but
sewer
the
before
city
they
put
went
in expense and they connected sewer line.
True.
I was actually out there when they were putting the
I
sewer
was like, I
line.
don't know anything about that
Okay, so-
agreement, I just know that
That's
they had
fine.
it.
I was out there when
on
they were
it.
doing
But
it.
Steve,
Yes.
they had a building there. You don't have a building.
Okay.
They had a building there.
Oh, really? Well, so,
They have a building.
so let me ask you a question. You say, when Mike was in office, did I not call you? Willa gave me your number because you were on the board. Weren't you in Albany?
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, didn't I call you concerning this issue with Mike? Didn't I call you when Mike was still there and I was having a problem? The day that we had that heated argument? Didn't I talk to you on the phone? You don't recall?
No, I don't.
You don't?
No, I don't.
Well,
I don't recall every phone call I
Well,
ever
you know
had.
what, that was a pretty heated argument because I felt bad because, well, I guess it scared a few people in that building. And I came back and apologized because, yes, I raised my voice, but after 7 years, I think somebody needs to, I'm a little concerned. Okay, you told me that this, now, one other thing I just want to bring to your attention. You came out and we're gonna put a sewer line in without a building. Bill Hahn right there with his house up here. Did you not talk to Bill Hahn
Yeah.
about running a sewer line to his house connecting a 4-inch pipe?
Mhm.
Okay?
We
So
did.
you were gonna do the job, right?
Well, we were.
Without a building.
We were investigating.
Without a building.
No.
No, you told me this. I have this on, you were there.
I'm just tired of the hollering. I'm not
Okay,
deaf.
you were there.
At a city council meeting?
No, when you came out to the
Oh,
property.
yes, yes.
And you guys both were there, and you both looked it over and agreed that you would run. I think we have some of the city guys here. Anybody was out there with Donnie? That's here?
Don't get the city employees involved.
What we said out there, we'd have to check into how it could be right.
Did you make
Wait a
it?
minute. You bring it up, November the 6th meeting. Deidre stated that the attorneys had been hired, and she advised the board not to discuss this issue any further.
That is correct.
That's how that meeting ended, instead of us.
No, you're looking at the wrong
There's
meeting.
one more meeting after that.
Judy, you're looking, I'm talking about January 11th.
But she is, well, I'd like to say something. Steve, are those your main points?
My other main point is, he was going to run the sewer and had a bunch of guys from the city come out and run the sewer, wanted to run a straight shot to Bill Hahn's house up the property. I just want this record, he made it very clear to me. I talked to him, made a phone call afterwards. I talked to Donnie. He said that I was welcome to talk to Bill and that he would be willing to pay 2 years utility, at least a couple years of all his utilities, or keep your fingers crossed if he sells the house. The new owner may agree, and he would actually agree to pay all their utilities for a couple of years. So, now my question would be, if that's the case, since then, have we put away maybe $300 a month to get the sewer line put in? Has anything been addressed? Has anything been put away? $50,000. And one last thing I want to bring up, and this is why I am the way I am, and this is why my voice is raising. But I had an experience prior to this, which I shared with Donnie, and I believe I shared it in the meeting, can't guarantee it, but before I developed the property over there next to, across from Sonic, there at US Cellular, before I developed that, I called Daybright. And there was a power line, a major power line that came in, and it went into that lot 8 to 10 feet. It was a straight line, then it curved in 8 to 10 feet, and then went straight on. And I thought that was kind of odd. Well, Patrick thought it was odd too. Well, the problem with that is it prevents me from putting a building there or building anything on a major power line. At that time, I had, Buddy was the mayor, and I had come in to talk to him, and we were working something out on that. I even at that time agreed to maybe pay some of it or whatever, and but then he left office, then Patrick came. So prior to building to that, I talked to Patrick, continued it, and Patrick found the temporary easement that showed a straight line. So I needed that line moved because my plans, that building was to be set where that power line is. So it was very interesting that Patrick told me, Steve, this is not your fault. The city needs to move that line. I said, look, that's okay. I'll pay for half of it. Patrick will not let me pay for any of it. He said, Steve, we're going to have it moved. It needs to be moved. The easement shows a straight line, somebody, for whatever reason. And we figured it may have been a couple trees there or something like that somebody went around them, and off they went. So he called Mike. Mike met me on that property. He said, Mike wants to meet you out there. I did. And Mike was very nice. We discussed, it was actually put in the books that that property, they were going to move that line that Saturday night, early Sunday morning, because they had to cut the power off to be able to reconnect the lines. So we had the date set. They were going to do it that weekend. And Mike said, not a problem, Anyway, I started feeling a little guilty because, well, I didn't have a signed contract yet. So with U.S. Cellular, although we were sure, I called Patrick at home and I said, Patrick, look, I would feel horrible if this didn't go through. And then the city spends this money on moving this line and I end up not putting a building in. Okay, so Patrick very much appreciated it. I said, look, let me get some ink on the contract first, then I'll call you. But I don't want to, what if something happens? So 2 weeks later, I have a signed contract. I called Patrick. He said, we're going to go ahead and do it. He calls me back. He says, Steve, Mike wants to meet you on the line. So I meet Mike on the line. Mike tells me, Steve, I've been thinking about this. When this line was put in, neither side disagreed, so the city's not responsible for anything. So I'm standing there. Could have had this power line put in, but because I called and didn't want the city to spend the money until the building was ready to go up, and I was going to pay for half. Now, Mike comes and he looks at me knowing that I have a signed contract and I got to get this building up. I have no time to do nothing. I can't go talk to anybody. I can't go to the city. I have to start building. So you can understand where, and it can go on and on. I'm not going to take up any more time here, but I've had some experiences that has, so there is doubt. And this is why, when I've been through almost 7 years and somebody's telling me they're going to install a sewer. And now I'm wondering, in the meeting of January of 21, I even asked, who's going to pay the excess expense of double of what it's going to cost me now to build a house? But now, that was January 2021. Now it is tripled. So I leave everybody here with a question. Who's going to pay that difference? Who?
So what can we do to progress forward? Because I feel like he's at a stalemate with everything. Like, I want this settled for him.
Well, you have the minutes, copy of the minutes from the January meeting.
Yes.
I don't remember everything of that, but I was there.
Like I said, the detailed video gives a lot more than the minutes.
Yeah.
But the minutes, she has a copy of the minutes I had.
But, so what I'm kind of feeling is we're at the point where you're kind of talking with Deidre, and then Deidre's trying to talk with Donnie, and you're not getting what you need as far as how much needs to be built to get your sewer and water.
Well, yeah, but I am at the point right now, that agreement was set in January of 2021.
Yeah.
Okay? So I want the sewer line put in before I put another dime into anything. It has been over 7 years. I've already went through what I did over there on my other lot, and I just want the sewer line put in before I put a dime into that lot. I agreed to it January of 2021, but I no longer agree to that. I want the sewer line put in before a house goes up. and I don't care what it's worth. Is anybody here willing to buy that property from me without ever getting sewer line? Can you put a horse on it? No. Can you sell it? No. Everybody knows about this. Who can I sell it to? I mean, what's it worth? Is it worth something to you, Donnie, if you know you're never gonna get a sewer line? No.
I'm too old to buy property.
Yeah, I mean, but you understand my frustration here. You know, I mean, yeah, and
You bought it without sewer.
sadly enough, yes, with the agreement,
But,
With the
wait a
agreement-
minute,
oh,
wait a minute,
no,
wait a
with the
minute, wait a minute, wait a
agreement.
minute. It wasn't with this group, that was way back.
oh yes, but this group agreed, with the exception of Laura, and thank you, Laura, so much for coming in and showing your concern and wanting to know what's going on. So thank you.
Steve, I'll.
And John, you too. Oh, hold on a minute.
Steve,
John,
you
I-
gotta admit, I was concerned too as alderman, and I looked in and I talked to you, and I dug into it. They haven't really dug into what this consists of.
Okay.
I would suggest they do some investigation before they really look into it, see what's gonna cost the city to get sewer out there.
So,
My suggestion on doing the 4-inch pipe that was something the city employees could do.
okay, but
Okay,
can that, why
but-
was,
The DNR won't let us do that, and if we go down to the original plans, we have to get a contractor, a special contractor, because our guys can only go so deep.
did Larry Cattell have this job scheduled when you came over and took over?
Yeah, I
as
heard
mayor?
he even had some material.
He did, oh yeah, he did. Okay, so he questioned you that week when
Yes, he
Mike was
did.
let go, and you told him he was to proceed, because he came over and told me, because he was worried what was going on. And then, the following Monday, when that was going to get started,
That's when Mike put a halt to me.
no, Mike didn't put a halt to you. Mike was gone, and you had told Larry to go ahead and proceed with the job. It was the following Monday that you told him he's not to do the job.
That's, okay, then I dug deeper into it
Can-
and found out what it consists
Can
of.
Bill come up here just so we can get straight
No,
there?
no,
Larry came out
you
to
said
me, came out to him, and asked where we want the rock. He was gonna start the job. Mike finally called me into his office and told me he's gonna do the job.
Okay, you've made your point very clear to the
Okay.
council, and it's up to the council, it's not up to the mayor.
Okay,
It's
so.
not up
so-
to me, it's up to the council.
Okay, so
let's-
one last statement. You talk about your 35,000, but I will tell you that, and I will tell you as sure as I sit here, that deal with that power line at that US Cellular building, because it was promised to me, and then because it was going to get done, then it wasn't, and I was told the city isn't gonna touch it, do it, nothing. I wasn't even involved. I couldn't even, I lose $10,000 a year in rental income because of that, Donnie. I have lost over $50,000, $60,000 then. And you talk about your 35, 40. You know what it's cost me? A lot more than it's gonna cost you. It's already cost me. That's it. And thank you, John.
This is your paperwork up
This
here.
is your paperwork here.
John, what were you gonna say?
Can we get this resolved maybe tonight?
No, it won't be resolved tonight, I don't see how you can, because
Yeah, we're gonna,
Thank you.
We'll start from not the beginning, but where.
let them, Steve, you dropped a piece of paper. Steve, let the council come in, we'll talk it over, I'll show
I've
them.
heard this before, Donnie. You told me this before.
It's not up to
Let
me,
know
it's
when
up to the
done.
council, Steve.
Somebody just let me know when it's done.
Okay, well, it did start in November for this council that I know of. I wasn't here, you weren't here. I was here in the January meeting. I was, from then on, I was not in the minutes of the November meeting. I was appointed in the beginning of December, so I didn't see any of that. But in the January meeting, we did come to the conclusion, which is right here, that he has approved, Mayor Pruitt stated that Steve Arnold has met all the requirements to get his building permit approved, would like the council to approve, et cetera. I won't go through everything. So in the end, was the permit signed? Did you
Yes.
get the
Yes.
permit legal? Okay, so we did that. That's all the motion that was made at that time.
Yes.
Was, the two of us made the motions, and it was approved to sign the building permit.
Right.
And then the ball was started rolling with Charles Cantrell about contracting, started with stating how much of the construction needed to be completed before the city starts on utilities. Was that done?
No.
Okay, that's where we stopped. That's where something happened.
Because
What happened?
his attorney got involved in it, wasn't it?
No, I had no attorney then.
Because he got the permit, but he didn't build. He thinks that, all he had to do was bring in the,
Well, after a lengthy discussion about which way to go without setting a precedent, Mayor Pruitt stated that he would sign the building permit and talk with Charles Cantrell about a contract stating how much of the construction needed to be completed before the city starts on utilities. So that was in our next step. It was the ball's on our side.
okay. So now we got to decide how much of the building's got to be done before we start the sewer.
Right, we're 1 year behind on it, but
Where's
yes.
the meeting, where's the minutes to that?
Because we already
Yeah,
discussed it.
Ellie
Ellie was in.
there's another set of minutes, because we discussed it,
We're gonna have,
and Ellie made a suggestion that the building had to be, and I don't know how much construction work, but there is another set of minutes to this, because I remember Ellie made the motion, I don't remember who seconded, that
The only thing-
But it would have had to
to
have
be,
been before this.
no, because,
No, it was after
it was
this.
after that,
It was
because
after this.
Deidre was having to deal with his attorney.
I think that was the February meeting, the February meeting.
Well, why is this not something we can get resolved if that's where we
is
stop?
January.
well, I honestly, and I know Steve ain't gonna like this, but I signed the building permit, but then nothing happened. The building did get built.
He wasn't specifically told what he had to do on his end, though. That's his frustration.
Yes, he was, yes, he was.
No, he wasn't. It was said that a contract, was never, you
Yeah, but
didn't
in-
get with Deidre
in
and
the
there
minutes,
was
there
no
was
In the
contract.
another
minutes, it
set of
was.
minutes.
Okay, she's checking right now.
You're not familiar with it,
February wasn't even discussed. March.
It doesn't matter. It needs to be resolved.
That's what I'm saying.
It's years in the process, and it needs to be resolved, and something needs to be done.
I was waiting on him to build it.
No, you weren't doing.
Build a
I was
building.
waiting for you to tell me what you require. I
Yep.
don't need anything.
Deidre was
And at this
having to
point-
Deal with him on this. And
It,
Was this ever discussed in another meeting since then?
not that I specifically remember. I know that we were contacted by, I think at the time it was Lyndall Beard, maybe, started with Charles, he was talking to him, and then we got to the first meeting where it came up that was over at the community center, and he came in, and I told you guys not to talk about it because I knew that his attorney and Charles were talking, and then Lyndall stopped being his attorney, he came back, and that's whenever we got to the point of, we need to give him some idea of what structure actually needs to be there for the city to run the lines. We were going to do a contract. I was never given any terms to actually build a contract with or to have him come sign. So that's where it ended as far as I am aware, is waiting for the city to decide what they actually want there.
And per that last minutes, that's exactly where we were. Mayor Pruitt stated he would talk with Charles Cantrell about a contract stating how much of the construction needed to be completed before the city starts on utilities. We didn't give that to him.
Correct.
So that's what we need to do.
Yes.
But I still say there was another set of minutes somewhere, because Ellie,
It doesn't matter at this point. He's waited.
if there is another set of minutes, I want to see them, because I know Ellie, and we voted that it had to be a structure, and he brought in a picture of that house right
But is
there.
there a contract done?
I think that'll
Just
happen at
needs
the
I just
waiting
want to
for
make
the
it clear, at
contract.
this point, for me, this was over a year ago that you agreed to this. I have done, I think, way and beyond what I should ever have had to do. And at this point, I request that the sewer line gets put in now. I don't want to I agreed to it then, but I do not agree to it now. And I won't agree to it. I want the sewer line put, okay?
Before you build a building.
Before I put a nickel into that lot. I want the sewer line at this point put in because it's been almost 7 years, Donnie. That agreement that you told me and you sat here and talked to me about was over a year ago. I have made several attempts to contact, including you, and been ignored. Thank you.
I will not agree to put a sewer line in without a construction going on. It's my stance on that, and that's what you're supposed to do way back.
So because,
Precedent study. Yeah, you gotta be careful with what precedent you
yeah,
set.
it does set a precedence, but my whole thing on this is, he was promised and told at a council meeting that stuff would be done, and it was not followed through with. I don't want this to happen to somebody else.
It seems like you're taking his word over mine, because I don't agree with him.
It was.
It was agreed upon the plans, but he was supposed to take those plans and build that house on that
You were
lot.
supposed to get with Deidre, the council was supposed to make a contract, something, give
I
them
don't make
something to go
contracts.
off of.
I don't make contracts. the
She
law
told
makes
us
contracts.
not until they, because, until he brought a contract in.
But Deidre, did you not just say you were waiting on words from council
Yeah, according to
to
the
make,
minutes.
according to the minutes, to make a contract?
Yeah, that's what that, it was.
So nothing was followed through with.
All right, so here's what we'll do. We'll table it. You guys come up with a contract, whatever you want to do. You come
Why
up,
do we have to table it? Why does he
We
have to
can't,
wait any longer?
because you don't know what it consists of. You guys have not investigated the work that's required down there to get this accomplished.
And
But how much work is it gonna be for us to agree on what's considered a structure and to make a contract so he can go forward, and so this never happens again?
Well, what
that's
do
what
we
we
do? We
agreed
take
on.
the city ordinance
No,
that
you just
says,
misunderstood what he
can't
said.
agree
He
to
said
this.
he's not.
When this was
Yeah,
going
and that's, yeah.
When this was going to be done, prior to Mike leaving, and it was scheduled, and we had rock getting delivered for this job, where was the money gonna come from then? Let me ask you a question, and I wonder this, and maybe I'm out of place for asking, but Mike Wade, didn't he get paid like 80-something, 6,000 a year, or something like that? Or, you know, just a portion of that, since he's no longer here, could have paid for this job. Now, I don't know where that money went or where it goes. That was 86, wasn't it
It
$86,000?
went to pay his bills.
I'm
How's that?
asking you. I
If
don't
you
know.
wanna
I
holler,
said I don't
I'm
know.
gonna holler. I'm tired of you hollering.
Okay.
I'm not deaf.
Well, I'm tired of having to come here to discuss this.
The city
Well,
is responsible for dropping the ball. I agree with you, the city did drop the ball. What can we do to remedy it is
That's all I wanna know.
Without
I
setting
don't want this
bad
to happen to
precedents.
anyone.
If he agrees to start structure and then. the
I won't.
Hasn't he
Not
shown,
at this point. I will not.
I don't know how we can justify putting $50,000 in a sewer to an
Like-
empty lot.
Like anybody else, that was set up for future development years ago, Donnie. And the money was there a few years ago when this project was gonna start, when Mike actually called me into his office and told me, we're starting the project. Where was the money? It was there. It was there.
Mr. Cantrell owns that property that we would have to go through, and I guarantee you, if you look at the lay of the land, you'd have to, if you develop that, you're gonna
Do
have
you
to
know
put in
Charles
lift
thought this
stations
job was done?
to use that.
Do you know he thought this job was already completed years ago?
doesn't all these years of him actually trying to get this done and the headache he's went through show that he's actually trying to put a building up there?
No.
That shows a pretty good faith
No.
that he's trying to get something done.
No.
How does it?
It proves he's stolen.
You're stalling. The city is
Oh, my
stalling.
God.
It's not him.
We just can't get in.
But he's kept up with this year after year trying to get something going. So doesn't that show that he's trying to get movement?
It's up to the council. It's up to the council what they want to do. I'm just telling you the story. Because I see the finances. You guys don't see the finances. It ain't like you can just dig a little trench out there and give the guy sewer.
Yeah, but he's at least been actively trying to get something done about this. That shows that he is wanting to actually put a building, and I
Sir,
don't
you
blame
just
him.
got involved in this tonight. You don't even know what you're talking about.
How do you know that? Do you know that I haven't looked at any other meetings
This is the
from
first I've
today?
ever heard from you on it.
Okay, yeah, but you said this is the first time I'm involved on it.
But we all live in this.
But I-
Our city.
This is our city. It's not your city, Don.
I suggest we table this until we get together and come up with some kind of agenda where we can get the guy sewer, if that's what you want to do. But you guys ought to know what you're getting into.
Well, I want to stress that Steve is putting, now, I'm 100%, the ball was on our side. We did not put it back, okay? It was the city that made that 1 year. I'm sorry. I apologize for that a lot. It was what it was. Now, at this time, what we can do to remedy the situation, Steve, you're putting us between a rock and a hard spot, because if you're not willing to do, I know it's our fault, I agree. I'm not gonna argue that. But we can't just go ahead and give the okay and do them before you do it. Because then we're setting a precedent, Steve. If we set a precedent that any time that the city screws up, we're gonna go ahead and eat everything and do it before anything gets proven, et cetera. You just gotta understand, from our point of view, we're looking out for the taxpayers' money, et cetera.
Yeah.
We can't just put $60,000 into a project. I'm all for putting it in, and I think we will. I believe we will. We'll come to an agreement. And I think that's what we need to do.
I just go back to why was it scheduled to be done and be started? Was there no money to do it? Obviously there was, because I was called into the office of Mike Wade and told that they were finally going to do this job and start it. And then when Larry Cattell got fired, or actually before he got fired, it was put off.
You're absolutely right, but
Okay, so,
shy of proving damages, we can't really just say we have to give him $30,000 or something. It sets a precedent.
I understand, but
I've got
now,
lots, everybody's got lots, even without sewer. Boy, that'd be something. We all started saying, hey, wait a minute. You know, I agree with you, that
if this was just concerning me, I would fully understand and I wouldn't have been, it wouldn't be an issue.
Right.
So where's the middle ground?
But if this was a future development project that was planned prior to purchasing that property, that makes it a whole different story.
I'm
Okay?
behind you.
It was a
I'm
future
behind you.
development.
But we need a little bit of fudging room here just
Okay.
to not set wrongful precedent for the future for everybody else. We need something to where we can come to a happy conclusion. And we need, I don't care if it's me or it's up to the council to appoint who they want, but if we could appoint a subcommittee, so to speak, to meet with you and Deidre,
Okay, but
and work something out.
You see where I'm at? I'm
Well, I
listening
agree,
to this, and I'm
you're
listening to
behind.
this, so
But I don't want this to go another month or 3 months. I don't want it to keep going.
We can
If
get
we
something
can-
done tonight.
If we can get something started, if you agree
I-
that we
I-
can work together and we'll all meet and come to an agreement that doesn't set a precedent so that anybody that,
can we make a
Yeah, that's
resolution
fine.
tonight? I mean, can there be one made right now? I mean, who else needs to be here
well,
to make that?
we've got to finish our city business as is, but I want to proceed with you or whoever wants to. It's fine with me. If you're willing to, if you just give us a little bit of room so that we're not setting those precedents as they're going to screw up. We'll be in court for the next 20 years with others, you know. Yours is the worst case I've seen in this city, and it's not your fault at all. You did everything. You did more than what most all the permits required. Well, no, it's what was required, but we're asked to do because of the situation of the city was scared of putting in $60,000. You did good. I do not have one complaint about anything you did, and you even backed it up. You have your point, everything. We know in black and white that the ball was dropped here.
So
But the whole thing is, let's
who
move
then
forward.
who pays now the difference
The difference
in the cost of
of the
building?
sewer, of the cost of the sewer as
Who-
well.
No.
We're all
Who
gonna get
pays-
burned.
Who
Yeah.
pays the difference
Of building the place.
of building the place
Yeah,
now.
it-
Because we all know what's going on.
Everybody's gonna get burned, I agree. I agree. We have to come to a conclusion to move it on. We have to say, we're all gonna have to, just eat something. Because yes, the city, it's gonna cost the city way more than originally estimated
By the
as
way,
well.
let me mention, I have a letter from my bank, and I forgot about this, I don't have it with me, but for me to get financed, okay, for me to get financed, let me mention this. They want all utilities run to the property before they will finance me a house to build. So, I'm sorry, I forgot about that. And I will present that letter to you, or John.
We need that.
if you want.
Steve,
I'm gonna give you this letter.
Did we give you electric out there so you could use
Okay,
electric tools to build
Let me
your
tell you
house?
how I got my electric. In December, I called for electric. This is March 28th. When was the electric put in, Don?
I don't know, maybe,
You want to get them involved?
I'll just ask them when electric was.
We don't
Well,
want-
let's involve them then. When was the electric
When
actually hooked
when
up?
was electric put out there to Steve Arnold?
It was finished a few weeks ago.
Okay,
A few weeks ago
Yeah.
or a couple weeks ago?
just finished. It was
Okay,
just finished.
I'll tell you when it was finished.
It was started.
And ironically,
Okay, thank you.
ironically, okay, this might be ironic, I don't know. It may be coincidence, but when I called for electric, very nice guy, we met out there, marked it, where do you want the pole? I'm gonna call Dig Right, when do you think I'll have electric by the end of the year? Okay, no problem, that way I can get going. Well, a couple weeks passed by and I saw nothing. So, without bothering the city again, because I know this has been a sore spot, so I called Dig Right. And Dig Right had no record of even having a phone call yet to install or to come out to mark for that pole. I called Shannon, and Shannon was nice enough to ask why, and I was given, well, because, the answer is because we don't want this to,
I don't remember exactly.
well, the time frame that you're given to put the pole in, okay? So I called Dig Right, and of course, that was 30 days. Well, 30 days, why haven't they been called? Right, 30 days? So, Dig Right immediately gets a phone call after I contact Shannon, and now they come out, they mark it. Weeks go by, okay? The pole, I finally get the pole out there. Now, this was in December, I requested electric. This is March, let's just say March 15th. I walk into my attorney's office, speaking of attorneys, because I have nowhere else to turn. I can't even get an electrical line run to the property. The pole's there, but I have no electric. So I go in to seek some advice, and ironically, the next morning, they're running electric. Huh. Coincidence? Maybe. It might be. But how ironic is that?
Thank you, Steve.
We didn't hear from the attorney. It was just, they just worked that day.
I'm just saying.
We've had
We've
the boards in here, we've had contractors.
I am saying, I went in to make an
No,
appointment.
I didn't hear from the attorney. Yeah, that was just more,
I'm just saying.
I got it done.
I'd like to make a motion that we appoint one or two council members to meet with both the property owner and the developer and the attorney and work on working something out before our next meeting.
I'd say 2 council people. Would be a good idea. And that way we can get something done, something moving forward.
Can you do 3? Well, that would be city business.
I mean, yeah.
You two.
So you
I
two,
made a motion
I'll second.
to what?
I'm
to-
sorry,
to
could you
appoint.
state the motion?
I made a motion to appoint 2
2.
members of the board to meet.
Appoint
with the
Ms.
developer.
Wagner and Mr. Stevenson.
We didn't say who yet. We didn't go that far. I just made a motion
Do
to
what?
create a committee
I'd
to
just like to ask,
handle that situation between the developer and the attorney and work it out before the next meeting.
What, Ms. Goldberg?
I was just wondering if we're gonna insist on a construction going up before we do this.
Well,
I
it's
mean,
up to that
Well, I
committee to
know,
work on it. That committee's gonna work with
okay.
them.
I know the city's got blamed, but that was a requirement that I made, and that's why nothing's been done, because I haven't seen no construction. 4 stakes out there is the only things out there.
Okay. he made
That's
a
why it
motion.
stalled.
He made a motion. Let's
Okay,
get
he
this-
made a motion, we need a second.
I'll second.
Go back to second then.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All in favor. So,
Now I'll make the motion for. who would
ask
like
for
to
volunteers
volunteer?
maybe.
Who would like to volunteer?
Who wants to volunteer to be on that committee?
I don't care to be on that committee since I'm the one that brought it
Okay,
up.
then
I'll
I
volunteer
can
to be on-
appoint
I'll
Okay.
volunteer to be on the committee.
you. Okay, I appoint you and you to be on the committee. Okay, and how long do you need before we,
For the next regular meeting.
Yeah.
next regular meeting? Okay,
April 11th,
okay,
I believe.
on old business, right?
Right.
Or do you want it on new business?
Follow the-
You want it on, what I'm saying, new business will be new business will be the newly elected officials. Old business will be the old elected officials. That's why I did that.
And I don't know how to decide that. Do you know how to do that?
I would say it'll be old business because it's coming off of a motion that you're making now.
Yeah, okay, but I didn't know whether we wanted the newly elected officials
Right.
to pursue it, since they're gonna have to follow through on it,
Have to pursue it.
because they're the ones gonna have to follow up on it.
I would just put it under old business and
Okay,
do about it.
We will get in contact with you, and you
Perfect.
can get in contact with Steve, and we'll all meet.
Okay.
See what we can do.
That'll work.
did you hear that, Steve?
I heard,
These two, Mr. Krasuski and Ms. Wagner
I
will
heard,
be assigned to your case. Okay, let's
This is Steve's.
move on to new business, and I think Ms. Wagner discussed the golf course.
No, this is Steve's.
Yeah, but you instead of mine also.
Right, I'm gonna give this back to Steve.
Funky's got yours.
Okay.
Can
Just
I
so
throw
it'll get,
something in at this point? Perhaps the city council could maybe take up the idea, discuss of an ordinance, so that this gets in writing, so that it never happens again. In other words, if somebody comes and says, I've got 10 acres, it's already in the city, I want to develop it, blah, blah. The city puts in writing who pays for what.
I'm
It
sure what
can't come from
Yeah.
one person.
I'm sure what they decide will set a precedence, and we will make an ordinance.
Well, I'm just saying that
Based
I
on
would
that.
think that the council
We can't-
should discuss that.
We can't really discuss it until we hear from them too. Ms. Wagner, are you ready to take over the first category on new business? Please.
Did you say this one, or did I?
No.
Did you?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just trying to move on.
Okay. Golf course superintendent, he wanted amendment to his budget that he had turned in.
Did you make enough copies? Okay.
Unless it might relate to 2 years.
No.
so where are we at with
Well, wait.
the budget?
Jump in on the
We have water issues. It's been an issue for, I don't know how long, but some years, with our pump and, parts. I'm not- Anyway, God, I hate this.
I think what you're
talking-
you wanna talk about this,
Yeah. I want to amend our budget because I don't think that we got enough on our budget to fix everything in the first place. That's what some of the papers are. And one of these is.
So you submitted a budget that was low and then upon further investigation?
Yeah. Yeah.
And after we found out we had so many things that we tore up.
We didn't know until we actually dug into it how much stuff we had to fix with the pump.
I can vouch for that.
The rebuilt pump, and then, I mean, what it cost to have them things put on.
Okay.
And this here's a line for our pop-off valve. It caused a pretty good break. It's been twisted. I'd like to put a lock where our manhole cover is and the pump house, because anybody can get in
Because
there.
this wasn't bent like that last year. So we think somebody got into the,
Racing.
into the,
Wait a minute, where's this at?
this here.
In the manhole.
They're just playing around, somebody's playing in there. Is somebody just playing in there,
Where's-
damaging?
That's a,
Yeah.
Where's this at?
In the manhole where it's plant, where it goes
Oh,
to,
over at the
Yeah.
west
goes to
coast.
the pop-off valve.
goes in the manhole.
When it builds up pressure, it shoots the water off into the tank.
Okay.
It goes through that, and it was restricting, it caused it to build up, maybe 800 pounds of pressure, or
Right.
we're not sure, because it blew the,
Was this completely twisted shut
Yes.
when you
Yeah.
got to it?
yeah.
Was that because somebody put a fitting on it and turned it?
Well, it wasn't like that
It
last year.
wasn't, it worked all year last year, and then all of a sudden, that's why we had the leak in the
Looks like
ground.
somebody with a wrench with a nut here twisted that pipe.
Yeah. That's-
Well, the guy that come and worked on the pump this last week, he said that there's
He
no
bought it.
way we could have ran it like it was set right now.
And closed it.
He said, because it shot up about 500 PSI,
Okay.
and it blew pipes apart.
Which there was a boot on the pipes, with a new boot from when we got the rebuilt pump put on, and it blew that boot. So luckily it didn't, we had a sprinkler head that was on, and luckily the pressure went out the sprinkler head, so it didn't hurt the pump. But then we have the other pump that was, it was reversed on the plunger on the inside. And they got that fixed, we have to have it put on, but that needs a slow start too. And that's probably about 20,000 or so,
This is the other pump.
Is this that pump that,
the extra.
when they fixed it, they
Yeah.
Yeah.
turned it around? didn't
They turned it around, so we already got the pump sitting there, but they have to laser level it and everything else to.
Because they
put
tried
a
to
slow
fix it in the
start.
shop and they reversed it
Yeah.
instead of.
The other pump, it can't be rebuilt again. That one, if it goes out, then we're not gonna have no water.
And where's that at on here?
24,000, is that it?
Probably. It would be under Evans.
Evans Enterprises?
I don't know if I circled them or not. I got some of the papers up here. Yes.
And we like to lock the pump house. Because anybody can just walk in there at any time.
Oh, okay.
How can you lock that manhole cover somewhere?
Well, it closes, and then I figured we could put a chain on it, or put a lock on it, or something. I don't even, how I.
Well, you know, there's been kind of a prankster out there
Yeah,
because throwing the flags up on the barn, throwing the flags in the fields, you know.
yeah. We've had flags stolen and things like that, and just, that pump house is like the gold to the golf course. If it gets messed up, then,
It should be inaccessible and unauthorized
Yeah.
people.
yeah.
Period.
That golf course is around about 11 million, 70,000 yards total in the course, along with the the plumbing, everything, the sprinkler, and everything is probably about 18 million. That it sits in that 84 acres, and with all the piping and pumps and everything, it would be in probably the 11 to 18 million dollar just for that course. And in South Central Missouri, it's one of the better courses, but it's 18 hole for being municipal. And it was at once, I think, #1 in South Central Missouri. And they had the big turns. We got Calcutta coming back, Ozark Radio Network, and we have the Holton golf team coming out now.
What's that?
The Alton School, high school golf team.
We're doing okay, but you're jumping around like
I know,
that.
I'm bad.
The locking the pump house, et cetera, is no concern of ours.
Yeah.
It's your
Yeah.
manager, you take care of it. That should just be something that you decide what you should do. Yeah.
But it's down to wastewater plant.
Let's get to the,
Yeah, they
It's
use
at
they
the
should
waste-
have a key then.
It's at the
Or
wastewater
they
plant.
both have access.
Hardwood, yeah.
No, it's key probably. But let's get on this 24,000, what are you saying about the pump?
Yeah, and what do you need added to the budget?
The pump is, what do you want to keep? Okay, the pump is around, it's gonna be around 25,000 to put that on, laser level it, slow start.
slow start, yeah.
Then the pop-off valve is 5,500,
How much?
about 55. And I told them we wanted a new one because if you keep putting them back on those old parts, you'll probably do it again.
And
that
then
we have that. Then we can rebuild the whole pop-off valve and have that as a backup, kind of like we would have a
So
pump.
we never have to worry about it again.
So what is your purpose of this amendment? Where is this money coming from? What's your projection? And what's
Well,
going
I
on?
would like to get, we paid Eddie Boardman for 6 months from August 1st on our budget.
You still playing that card?
Well, it's a fact. I mean, we paid him all.
But didn't you lay off of an employee? About a week ago, didn't you lay an employee off? Alex?
That's because he's a pro shop. That's not golf
Oh,
grounds.
oh,
That's a pro shop.
okay.
And the reason I hit him
Have you
is
figured out
because,
exactly what Boardman's
12,000.
wages was? 12,000?
yeah,
When did he go over to Parks?
about August 1st. And
August?
then I think, Donnie, you moved him back to February.
Yeah, I think it
somewhere
was
there.
February.
I don't know if he's on
But
But didn't he say
didn't they
that
go do
October?
work for you out there?
once or twice. I mean,
You pick the limbs up.
pick limbs up and something, but it's still $12,000 that could have been on our budget that we lost. Kind of like our city truck that I bought a water buffalo for.
Yes.
I mean, but that's on the budget. You know, I bought out of my pocket a water buffalo for it. Now we don't even have a city truck, so if we get a burn up green, we can't even drive the water buffalo that I bought and go out there and fix the greens. I do want to know why I was told it'd be gone 2 weeks and never got it back.
What?
Let's work
The
on
city
this
truck,
first.
that's what I was told.
Yeah, it's a bit corrected.
I signed that truck to water department because they needed it.
But you told me
Let's
that you
stay
want,
on
it
this
was
budget.
until.
Let's stay on the budget, let's stay on the budget.
Let's talk budget, then we'll talk.
Okay, I'm just impressed.
We all are.
Oh, I am. Yeah. You guys talked about compassion. I did 2 cancer surgeries and 9 treatments.
You got
And
it.
you
Hey,
told me to go out there and get on a mower. So don't tell me about compassion at all.
Let's,
Yeah, I mean, I'm really
What, they
frustrated.
pick on the mayor, pick on the mayor tonight?
No,
please.
no,
Let's
I just don't want to be lied to, no more. No more.
You know, you talk about equipment, don't you use a skid loader out there that don't belong? to
Skid
you?
loader, we put the window in, we fixed all 4 tires. So give me something on that.
Let's go back to budget.
Please.
That is BS right there. What you just said is a lie and BS.
gotta show up with money on the budget, see what's going on.
You hired me, Donnie, at that.
Let's get with the budget.
This is on the budget.
Let's get it.
This is on the
Well, let's
budget.
get back to the.
I was hired and I was not told about the water. We
I don't
was
think
thrown in
anybody
where
knew
this
about it
water
until you guys
system,
started digging.
and we have been working as hard as we can to get that water fixed. We got 9 new control panels. We have had the pump rebuilt. And all we're asking is so that we can have working water and have a good golf course for the community, because it shouldn't be just a golf course. We should have mass Easter egg hunts out there for kids and sled riding and all kinds of different stuff, maybe even a haunted house or something.
Okay, let's get on the budget. They want to amend the budget.
Right. So right now, if you're looking at this budget, you're 50,000 under. Am I reading this right?
Yeah, we actually have it in the budget. I'd like to bring Scotty Elliott over because he's a hard worker. And I think that he is overexperienced for the job that he's put at. And we actually need 2 or 3 full-time guys. It says it right here. It says, it is very difficult to manage a facility of approximately 70 to 90 acres at the top conditions with only a few full-time employees. An 18-hole course needs to employ 2 or 3. Where am I at? 2 or 3 full-time employees, and then hire 2 or 3 for the peak season. Now, we was told things, I mean, I ain't gonna say, you know. What I want to do is, we already have it in the budget. Okay. I got too much crap up here.
So you're 50,000 under budget
For right now.
for right now.
Over.
Over budget.
Over.
On repair and grounds. I put this one, what's this one? No, I got to put that option. You guys have a copy of an old budget there.
For the course back in Denver.
That was a year and a half ago.
Just take one out of my briefcase today.
And I think what was the one that they was like 80-some thousand over budget.
When we took over, and what was that, 20, golf course was 21,000 over budget.
It was actually 50.
I'm talking
No,
about,
she's on
Oh.
2021.
Oh, when I started, we was on,
I'm talking
yeah,
about,
the old
what you're
budget.
over 50 right now, they was over 21,000.
Yeah, on the old.
No, that's when we first took over, yeah. No, that was at the end of budget in
That was at the
July.
end of the budget.
Yeah. end of
If
budget.
Because
at
it would
this rate, it's gonna
2020,
be
the one
right
that's
there.
Denver.
On there, in the back behind yours, the last thing, there's highlighted, it's a old budget. And it's 50,000 over total park budget.
Change to that 3.
I don't know, what was it? I must have handed it to him by accident or something. Oh,
You got it?
yeah.
Oh, good.
Did I hand 2 of them over there?
No, these are the ones you gave me, but is this what you're looking for?
Yeah.
Okay, you can have mine, I'll look for yours.
He didn't like it no more.
May I approach your estimates?
He's not gonna be like Will.
Okay, the budget before me was $50,000 over the total park, total, which was $328,787. And this is without getting any of the water fixed.
And this was for the whole fiscal year.
Yeah. And then our budget, our current is 272,080, and we are
Is there
right
any-
at 28,896 what we have left.
Have you looked at your budget
Mhm.
line by line?
Yep.
And is there anything in there that you can cut back to help with this? What are you asking?
How do you plan to compensate for this difference that you want?
Well, I would like the money that Eddie Borden and, I should
Okay,
say,
that's,
Mr. Borden.
that's $12,000.
That's 12,000.
Okay. I'm gonna argue with you. And then you're asking for 60,000 more?
No, I put a total of 41 minus the 12,000.
Oh, I got
So
60,000
you're
right on
talking-
mine. Total.
$29,000.
About that, which is enough to do the pump and the pop-off valve. And then I wanted to move Scotty Elliott over to full-time.
With the pop-up that we gotta do.
There's no,
You can't have water.
Well,
there's no getting around that.
Let's work on where we're gonna come up with this money at, okay? If we give you 12 back off of parks, is this the total here that you're wanting budgeted, the 60,000?
No, what you're looking at, that's what we put into the irrigation
That's how
so
much
far
we've spent.
on each
Okay,
one.
okay, so you're needing a 24,000
And 5,500.
and 5,000, so 25, so you're needing 30,500.
Yeah.
And we're doing this because I don't want our budget to look like the one that was over the total 50,000.
Well, but you're doing some major repairs. on
Yeah,
maintenance
there's
that
it's
once in
either
a, not lifetime, but once in a great while that you're.
Hopefully it'll
fix
make
it
sense.
or not have a course, and the course can bring in
Okay, that's still,
something.
if you, the 25,000 and the 500, 5,500, give you back the 12,000, you're still 18,500 short on that.
No,
Plus
Well-
you're already 50,000 under.
see, we didn't have enough in the, I didn't do the budget anyway. This budget, we didn't have enough in this budget.
You
And
went,
from the get-go, I mean,
you went over it, Denny, and went down through it. Remember, you're the one that cut the chemicals back.
that's
you cut-
because we had them.
But you cut back, so
But
you
whatever
cut
we
your own
cut
budget.
back though, that wasn't put back on. And like, if we
don't-
cut that off, then that should be put back on so that we would be able to do all
But
this
see,
work.
when you was
Especially
when you was doing
when the
your
water
wish
was
list,
known about.
when you're doing your wish list, if you say, okay, I'm gonna cut $30,000 off my chemicals, but I would like to add it to this here, that would have been different, but you just said, I can, me and you even talked about it, Linda even
Yeah,
talked
that was my
about it.
first budget. That was brand new, so,
And you remember, you said, I can save the golf course some money because we've got
which we did.
$30,000 worth of chemicals out there. But you didn't say add this back on, somewhere else. And I realize, you did not realize the water sprinkler system was messed up. But anytime you take off one line item, you need to know to add it to something else so you'll have that money. The main thing is not the line items, it's what starts here and what ends here should not be over your budget, okay? Keep that in mind when you're doing your wish list.
We already did our wish list
I know.
early, and I'm not sure why. I would like to have more time to prepare for it.
Because
Because,
it's required by ordinance to have you start in March.
well, I know you had to turn it in early, but because we had a person going out and she knew she was going out on sick leave, so she wanted to get some of it done. And if you needed something else on there, or something taken off, do it now before we get it into the final process, okay?
Well, I wanted education on there because I paid $2,000
It's on
to
your
go to
wish list.
school
It is on
out
your
of my
wish list.
pocket. But there's $2,000 that came out of my pocket that Donnie has brought up. And you paid for the school and I paid you cash back, right? Every bit.
That was agreement.
So I'm the lowest paid superintendent in the city of Mountain View that's certified for the golf course. I gave up $1 of my wages to give to Ernie to get him a raise, so I've been at $16.50, or shouldn't even say that out loud.
Let's, we-
No, you shouldn't.
let's talk about the budget.
She
What
started
we-
out with 41,000. What was that? Let's back up
Let's
to
just,
the
let's just get on the
41,000.
budget and get this
The
resolved.
first line where you got employee, he's probably under on that.
It's not life.
No,
and
no,
death.
I'm saying that's
I mean,
where
I'm
you get
saying,
money.
it's not life and death that you guys are
Well,
over
the
your
last
budget.
time-
Yeah.
Last time I figured on your wages, you were gonna have $8,000 left over.
Well, I'm just saying, there's
Our wages
But-
are good.
But if you,
I mean, try to make the money up for now, which we're trying to amend, right?
right,
So that would be another
I would
8,
say there's another 8 there.
is what I'm trying to get.
12 that could,
but
Retreat.
if that 8, and that 8,000 that you got left over on your wages, and we give you back the 12, okay, you can move it down here, that's 8, okay, that will take care of that, part of that 25,000,
Yeah, you're still gonna be short.
you're still gonna be short,
Yeah,
that's what
but
I'm
I'm just
saying.
trying to help a little bit on that. No,
So, I mean, what are you doing in a situation like that? Do you say, let the greens die? Or,
So,
No.
so how important is the pump? If you don't get a pump, there's,
well,
It's a backup pump, but he needs it. It's a backup pump.
but the thing we need worse is that
pop off.
pop-off valve.
That's that
It doesn't work right now.
$5,500.
What I'm trying to do is
It's
not, we
Okay,
only
then-
have,
Is there any way you can, this 25,000 can be moved to July the 1st on your next year budget?
No.
I thought it was just a backup, huh?
it is, but that other pump can't be rebuilt. We can't risk losing that pump and then say, oh, suddenly we ain't got no water now. We did have a backup, but you can't risk that. It's 18-hole course.
If we had both of them working right now, it would be no problem, because if one goes down, you fix it real quick.
So this one that,
That's the problem with the course, is that everything has been put back.
I
We'll fix it
understand that.
next time. We'll fix it next time.
I just asked if
I
it could
know,
possibly
I'm just saying.
put on July the 1st budget, and then there's no problem. Because then it would be figured in.
No, we couldn't do that.
well, you're saying you cannot get it done, but can you get it done and not be billed until then?
I talked to them about it, and they said they can't sit on parts like that. Right now, parts are hard to get, and they can't sit on parts. Just the way the economy and stuff is right now, you gotta get it done whenever you can get it done, because, you know,
Is there
It is
anything
hard to
else
get
over
parts.
on your line items that you're not using? Yes, I don't have your budget in front of me.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we're over on 7 different line items.
Is it gonna be a department or-
And the others, we didn't have much really to move over.
You got your tools, you guys have
We
them
didn't
in
have much choice. We just gotta do it.
Okay, okay, this is what we have to do, okay? This is the only way.
We don't have much choice.
Uh,
He was unexpected expenses.
every year when we do the budget, we always have money left over for being in black,
Yeah,
for unexpected
But he's already-
emergencies. Yeah.
correct.
But we didn't do that in
What
his
we have
budget.
to do on this to amend it. If somebody else wants to suggest it, but I know what, we have to do it in-house loan, okay? And then we have to put it on next year's budget for you to pay back so much a month is the in-house loan. That's the only way to
But that'll
auditors
be
know.
extra in your budget.
Yeah, you just make
And
that.
we just
That
add
is-
that.
As long as we get it fixed, I'm fine with it.
So on your wish list, is it okay if we add, I have to calculate it, so how much over are on your budget? I mean, how much are we gonna go for?
Well, I put a total of 41 minus 12.
30,
So 30, what'd you say, 41 minus 12, so
41 minus
39?
12.
$29,000?
30.
It's gonna be about 22 to 25 to put the pump on.
I thought I had a figure here, 30,500.
Somewhere in there, just minus the, and then 5,500 somewhere in there for the pop-off valve.
We were expecting that, but soon we turned it
So I got
on.
$30,500 is what you need.
We do an in-house loan, and then make sure we put that in your budget, and to pay back.
So we don't have to revisit this next meeting. Are you still considering what help you have and help we can get from other departments in the city to get the spring done so that we're
We
not
need
sitting
Scott
here?
Yell
You're
to
using your,
start tomorrow morning
your money
in the
up.
golf course.
Yep, now when we're
You see what I'm
figuring this,
saying?
right, you're using your, what you got in your wages up for this year,
I'm
okay?
definitely not a math teacher.
Well, you're using your wages up by doing it this
But
way.
we actually have the wages for a third full-time resident.
But we just pulled that
But
12,000,
if you
we
pull all
just
that
paid
out,
it.
then
And what I figured up on what you're on the wages, you're only $8,000 to the good on your wages, okay?
To the good, that's paying everybody.
oh,
Are you
And
paying?
that's gotta last you to July the 1st, and that's just your even running line.
I just said you're good at throwing me off.
Well,
Well, she's right. Is
I
that
know, but I
banking
mean-
on- Are you banking on this other employee that you want to get in there to help solve your labor problem for the spring? And you think that can handle it, so you won't be looking for more money from?
and I don't know what he makes an hour, so.
He makes 14.
No, they don't know what he thinks.
Oh,
So if we move him over, we're screwed, you know? Yeah, see, if we move somebody over, then we have to have wages for that.
well, I guess I can give him my pay. I mean, I'm already giving it away anyway, so.
And we want to work towards giving back your
Yeah.
dollar.
We've got a tournament coming up in 2 weeks, and we'd like to have it the best it's ever been. Because we like today, we spent all day long picking up 8 loads of limbs. Just to make it nice.
So in other words, the numbers we just went at aren't enough. If you're gonna need a bigger loan, so that you
But
can
you
have
can't do
that
in-house,
extra
you cannot do in-house loans on wages.
some wages. Okay, we can
And we've
move
only
on.
got-
So the 12,000 he deducted, just give that 12,000
Yeah,
back.
if you just leave that in there.
There you
Because
go.
he deducted 12,000 for
Right.
So
wages.
that makes
off
it
of the
20,000.
So go, so just
Right. Yeah, he's-
put 12,000 on the 35.
So we just need to,
41.
we just need to take it back up to 41,000.
Yeah, that's what you gotta do.
Yeah, and then leave the wages like it is, and then he can,
Yeah.
but he
And then he'll have the wages.
Wages
Yeah.
back,
Yeah.
okay?
I just want to make the golf course work, that's all.
That's okay.
I get frustrated.
We need to get the numbers right.
You know, I'm not good at that, I can't stand walking in front of people, but,
Let me get this down, so we won't be sending you an overpaid, underpaid loan.
no, well, I'm underpaid anyway, so.
Yeah,
And I'm not talking to you personally.
she's talking about the personal.
Oh. I'm still,
Yeah, right.
What's the total you come up with?
$41,000.
41,000?
I guess we're
That'll
done.
take, that'll take care of
You
the.
got 2
That'll
years.
take care of
the
everything.
Now,
cost.
on your wish list,
41,000 would be the in-house room.
on your wish list, you're gonna have to figure
We'll give him an extra
paying so much back,
41,000 so he can
whatever
pay it back
department
to
you've
the,
got, is $41,000,
admin.
okay?
okay,
So that's gonna have to be figured in your budget.
Yeah, so it's a
You
lot.
understand what I'm saying? In your budget, what you got, what it is, you're gonna be $41,000 in the red until you get it paid back to this in-house loan, because we don't pay it back to auditors.
so can we make $42.99
What's the other $1,900 for?
my school that I paid
Oh,
for?
they're gonna get that anyway. They got that.
Well, you've got that on the wish list,
Yeah, it's already in there.
don't get greedy at this
No,
time.
no, I just think it's,
Next
you know,
budget,
I'm very
okay?
upset about it.
Well, July 1st, okay? That'll be on that. Right now, we're trying to get you, what's more important, that or this pump?
Both.
I'm not a rich guy.
All right, so let's make an amendment with the budget and we make a motion.
I have one question.
Yeah.
One question for our manager here. The review of Mountain View Municipal Golf Course, examined via consultation by David Bradley of Soil ABCs. Do we pay for that, or what, how do we get a hold of this?
They paid for that, I think a year and a half ago. And
that
he
was-
came out and looked at everything, kind of graded it, and took soil samples, stuff like that. Some of the soil samples they didn't send back in, take the,
There isn't a date on here. What, he did this at that time or this time?
it would have been before January when I started, they had it down here.
Oh, okay, that's what this report is.
Yeah,
Okay.
couldn't get a hold of him to
Okay, not a
maybe
present
do it
report.
again, but I mean,
I think a bunch of personal, private doctors pick up the money for that.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, yeah.
When they
I
have
remember
that,
that. Yeah. Remember that?
Donations.
because the,
Further review.
yes.
Okay,
Back off.
then, are we ready to have a motion to amend the budget 41,000?
I make a motion that we amend the budget for $41,000 with an in-house loan. And I don't know from where that department until I look at that. So just, can we just get by with the in-house loan?
Yeah.
And then it will be put on his next year budget to pay it back.
Then, is he gonna pay that back in, we gonna spread that out for the whole budget year? Or are we gonna like just do 6 months? You just probably just do the whole, might as well just do the whole year. It's easier to figure the budget that way.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And you'll pay that back for 1 year, so it won't be very much at a time.
I'm laughing at myself, don't hurt me.
I second that motion.
Okay? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Danny, you did good.
Thank you.
Okay, now we got new business and to discuss a contract resolution relating to Beta Technologies.
I just wanted to put that in there since we were all meeting, just to keep the ball rolling on that in a timely manner. Have you even had time to?
I did. It's a very basic standard contract. Says that they will basically pay for everything. Whenever the contract ends, they'll take the charger and the pad away. The only things that I noticed that the city was responsible for, that they hadn't specifically talked about, was that the city would be responsible for not blocking the charging terminal, which would include if there was a whole bunch of snow or something like that to the point where it wasn't usable, that the city would go in and remove that. But since it's on the airport, I would assume that the city would do that anyway.
Yeah, we already do that, so.
Yeah. And then it didn't specifically address the Beta Technologies indemnifying the city in case of some sort of damage to a craft that is using the charger, so we might want them to add something in there about that, just saying that if there's any damages done on the city airport, but because of their technology, the city's not liable for it.
So the council requires that then you would get back with Beta Technology and make a clause in the contract that would address that.
Yes, I would just email her and say that we would like something put in there about that, and, because, you know, they've got stuff in there basically saying that if something happens that's our fault, then they don't have to pay for it, so it would be something with us saying, you know, and if something happens that it's your fault, we don't have to pay for
Yeah,
it.
they'd definitely.
So if it's okay with the council, could we do that and then we can put it back next, which is just a couple weeks from now,
Mhm.
and then we give us a chance to really look this over good.
I've read about 3/4 of it today. I happened to be in the office and I picked one up, and I caught that they said about if snow and ice, and
Mhm.
I was gonna ask Eddie, how big a problem would that be?
It's not, I mean, whenever we get bad weather, we've got to get the runway and the fueling pad cleaned off anyway, and it's part of the same area, so yeah, it won't be any extra
And
work.
it looks like it's gonna set east of the, gas fuel.
Yes, yes.
Okay. But,
I got a question. Do you use the dump truck with the snowplow on it to clear the runway?
If it's available, I know this year, I asked one of the guys to come out and he wound up having a malfunction with the truck. So I had to actually get some help in to get it cleared off, so.
Is there, what kind of, like, that's a pretty big deal,
We're looking at a grant.
the grant for a dump truck.
Since we get $150,000 a year for the airport, we're trying to get a grant through to where they'll pay for a snow plow, dump truck snow plow hopefully, and we can blade the runway and
And,
hopefully we can get it paid for.
and when we talking about this, what was it, that one grant, I'm really going back, a year and a half, that we possibly could get a fire truck and set it in a hangar?
But that's a big deal, isn't it, Eddie?
Yeah, I
I
remember
mean,
it being-
Stanley Murphy told me that is, you gotta get foam, you have to have,
Yeah. I
and then you
don't
have to
know.
have a hanger to put it in and keep it in,
Yeah,
and you
it's-
can't
we don't-
use it
We
nowhere
don't have an
else.
area to keep it. I don't remember what all the
I
requirements
don't
were for
remember
that.
what that was about, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I don't, that's been a
It's
while
a
far
big
enough
deal.
back, I don't remember. But I did talk to Stanley, I know, somebody mentioned at the last, I think it was the last meeting, about their concern was like, in case one of these caught on fire. Really, if that was to happen, it's gonna be more of a containment issue rather than trying to put it out, keep everything around it safe while it burns down, basically. You know, because I don't blame Stanley for not wanting to spray water at an electrical fire, so.
They say those batteries get so hot.
Yeah, they produce their own fuel, so, I mean, there's really no putting them out with your standard firefighting equipment. But it would be, if one unfortunately happened to catch on fire, it would just be, they show up, and thankfully, we've got fire hydrants right there close to it anyway, but they would basically just try and keep the damage to a minimum around it, so.
That's why I brought up the fire truck, and this being electric, maybe they might be a grant out there. Yeah, so what it sets there, at least they read.
It's so early, it's infancy, all this electric stuff. Eventually, the federal, everybody will have grants for everything to get it moving and get it going. And there'll be stuff readily available. It's different.
I thought I'd mention too, since you guys are on the beta subject, I reached out to every pilot that I had a number for or contact of some sort, and I didn't get any negative feedback. I spoke to, give or take, 10 pilots. They were all in support of it. So, just thought I'd throw that out there.
Well, I remember also you said you talked to other airports that already had that technology installed by Beta.
Yeah.
And you said there was no complaints by any of them even.
No, everything, so, as of now, everything been going great with them, so. I mean, granted, there hasn't been a lot of Beta airplanes, but they have had, been using the car chargers and have had zero issues with Beta, so.
If someone bought out their company, would that contract be transferable to the company that bought them out? Yep.
Yeah, it's applicable to all errors and assigns.
So is the council willing to give the lawyer the authority to go ahead and get the liability clause in here?
Yeah,
Is
and
it, do we need a motion to do that, or can we just?
Does it go
Yeah.
off of the motion? at
I
last
think you
meeting?
did it, yeah, I think last meetings would cover it.
Okay.
But I will say, I didn't try and look at any of the little diagrams and stuff that they sent, because that's not a me thing. I have
Right,
no idea what
right.
any of those mean. I'm gonna assume Eddie knows what those
I
mean.
I just printed everything out and give it to everybody. So, if they got any questions, I can try and explain something to them on the
I'm missing
diagram.
all the financial side of it. I don't see the contract, the 10-year contract,
Mhm.
and the whole financial to it. I don't see all the estimates.
the only thing it says in here
Percentages.
is that they paid for.
Of the installation.
Yeah, installation from
Right.
five corners.
But the financial of it, once it gets running.
Yeah.
It talks about them paying the electric bill.
Okay, and the 10%.
Is that in here?
The electric bill part is, I don't specifically remember if I saw the part about the 10% or not. I know that it references the city getting some amount, but I can't remember where it's at.
22.
What page?
That's on, I don't know, it's on margin, it's on 22. Let's go down to 22. So it's
That's what it was.
percent.
Okay.
It's all that I read in there, all the,
I knew that it referenced the city getting something, but I couldn't remember if it specifically said that.
Yeah, you went far.
And they'll have to run off of our meter.
yeah, and then it's also in there that they pay, you know,
It covers that they'll pay to hook it up, to bring the
Okay.
electric, to set the meter, to do all that.
and, I didn't think about the liability like you. I did read that because he didn't say about us keeping the stove covered off of it. I thought he didn't mention that. But all the payments that he said, talked about, and I didn't get through all the little pictures and, because I'm looking at,
The other thing is that we're not qualified to do, and I'm wondering, I know they had an engineer do this, and I know that the guy that came, represented the company, was an engineer. Sounded very good about what he knew, what he was doing, and I see all the diagrams. I'm wondering how that still keeps our airport complying with all the FAA regulations for the fuel pump area, the staging area, the whatever you call, all the different areas of the airport.
Yeah, and I don't know anything about that because I don't know
We're
enough
not
about what's
qualified to do
down
that.
I
there.
didn't check that out, didn't you?
I believe our engineering consultants, I think she's already run all that stuff through the FAA just to make sure that we were all good.
Well, and they have to have, he said it too, they have to have approval from the FFA. There's a permit process through the FFA for them to even put it in, so.
Right. I think they have to
Because
send
we
it,
won't know any
send
of
it,
those regulations.
like the blueprint to the FFA.
I guarantee you, because you know, your height issues has to do with it as well. So, yeah, and I remember our engineer, well, I was talking to her about something about the size of them, and I guess she'd already been in contact. She said, you know, one of the first ones they put in was a really tall one. She said that's not what they had talked to them about, so that tells me that they have been in contact with Finish, so they are aware of what's going on.
I just don't want to put a restriction there on the airport, all of a sudden we can't run this style jet because there's not sufficient room in a tarmac, you know, something's changed around it. Yeah, that's out of our jurisdiction or knowledge or expertise, we don't know. So if they have to apply for that, get it okay, and not restrict what we're able to do already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Peter, we'll let
Can I just email them back?
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that.
We'll put this back on the agenda for next month.
Okay. And if you read through that and see anything else that you want me to talk to him about, just email me and I'll.
I haven't had a chance to really look it over, so we got it, you know,
To me, it was just kind of simple and,
we just got it.
Yeah, it's fairly straightforward and short, so, I mean, as far as contracts go, it's still, you know, incredibly dull and way too long, but shorter than it could be, so.
I'm sure you know more about it than I do. Okay, then we can move on to the next item. Ms. Wagner?
I just heard that there was a city employee who had their, city-owned laptop that was taken and used for purposes other than what that laptop was used for. And I just wanted to address that.
Can you explain?
are you talking about me?
Yeah, like,
I was working on the budget since Linda was sick, and I talked to Eddie about it, he said it would be fine.
the only thing I'm worried about is just leaving the building and,
But let me tell you what,
Into the budget.
no, I give it back to him, Eddie was supposed to have it back last week, but it had been in his briefcase in the office. And I mentioned it, and then he calls Eddie and says, hey, I got your, but I asked Eddie, nobody seemed to have a problem with it, because I was trying to stay up with it, you know, to help Linda out, so when she does come back, she won't get hammered with it, but it's back in his possession. And I guess it was okay. I told him if I blowed it up, it wasn't gonna be my fault.
They seem to be working, so.
Okay.
and I do appreciate your efforts on the budget because you do know your budgets. But I just for future council or, you know, aldermen, I don't know if we just need to keep in mind that maybe put something in there that not to leave city building
I have no problem with that.
and, yeah.
Yeah, just leaving it here.
Yeah, because my mind instantly goes to technology, and if you hook up to the internet, could, I mean, anything be susceptible, because you're not. on a
Do you
secure
keep that
server.
computer in the office here all the time, 100%, Dave?
Yeah, yeah, because I don't, it's got to be hooked up to Wi-Fi, I don't
Okay.
have Wi-Fi.
All right. Okay,
And thanks for letting me use it.
next item on the agenda?
I just wanted permission from council. I don't want permission to enter any contract or anything like that, but, AppDG alert system is the system that the, Mount View Birch Tree School District uses, and they use that to send out the phone call and the text alerts. And I've got, I just called them and said, hey, I just want some information from your company. I can do a Zoom meeting with them Thursday, March 31st at 11:30 a.m. It'll be with Barrett Goodwin and Dutch King, and they're just gonna tell me what their company does. And like I said, I'm not wanting any permission to enter any contracts. I just wanted to make sure it was okay with everyone if I just kind of gathered the information and then we could present it, so that way it would be an avenue for us to use to alert the citizens instead of just Facebook. And then I'm more than happy to get a laptop, or, you can sign in my email and I can come here and we can all do the Zoom meeting, or?
No, well, I was saying.
I don't see what it would hurt.
Check into it,
I wouldn't- I
but
don't-
get the cost,
Yeah.
so that it won't be figured.
I think it's a good idea.
Then I'm gonna shut up about this thing.
I think it's a good idea to check it out.
Tired of it.
I don't know how the council feels, but
That's fine.
sure.
Yeah.
Is this,
I just didn't want to
I'm gonna be
overstep
done.
and.
I'm gonna be done here. Is this, so whenever we go without electricity, everybody's phone will be a
Yeah, because
is that what it is?
we have records of everybody's phone number when they come in and they make an account for, electric or anything.
We
And then that would be,
If it's something you guys chose to do, I'm sure we would probably need to ask for some updates. Like, if it's something you guys approve to do, we'd probably want to put something on the bill and on Facebook that says, hey, we want to offer this option, but please contact us to give updated phone numbers.
yes,
And send her $5.
yeah, I'm sure text messaging rates will apply.
I don't think we need a vote on, I don't think we need to vote on that. We just-
I think we should have a motion to appoint her to do this. Otherwise, everybody's just.
And like I said,
That's a good idea.
I don't want permission to enter into any contract or
No.
anything like that, just to gather
Well, I make a
information, so that
motion
way.
that we appoint you in particular to go ahead and research that and report back to the board.
I'll second that motion.
We've got a second, all in favor?
Why?
Okay.
Aye.
Okay, I believe that takes care of everything.
When's our next special meeting?
I think the next meeting is the 11th of April.
Oh, John said it was Thursday.
That's Monday, 11th of April. May I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll second that.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, everybody.